Why do some men seem to effortlessly attract women while others struggle endlessly, despite having everything going for them? You've probably noticed it too. There's that guy who doesn't chase, doesn't beg for attention, doesn't try to impress anyone. He just exists in his own space, completely at peace with himself. And somehow, women are drawn to him like moths to a flame. What is it about masculine calm that creates such magnetic attraction? And more importantly, how can you develop this quality yourself? Here's what most men get wrong. They think being masculine means being loud, aggressive, or constantly proving themselves. They believe they need to be the alpha who dominates every room, the guy who never shows vulnerability, the one who always has to win. But that's not masculine calm. That's insecurity dressed up as strength. True masculine calm is something entirely different. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing exactly who you are and being completely comfortable in that skin. It's the ability to remain centered when chaos erupts around you. It's being so secure in your own worth that you don't need external validation to feel complete. Think about the most attractive men you know, not the ones who brag about their accomplishments or flex their muscles at every opportunity. I'm talking about the ones who speak softly but carry real weight in their words. The ones who can sit in silence without feeling uncomfortable. The ones who listen more than they talk and make decisions from a place of clarity rather than emotion. This is masculine calm, and it drives women crazy because it represents everything they're looking for in a partner. Safety, stability, strength that doesn't need to announce itself. A man who won't crumble under pressure, who won't become needy when things get difficult, who can be her rock when the world feels unstable. But here's where it gets interesting. Masculine calm isn't something you can fake. You can't just lower your voice and cross your arms and suddenly become magnetically attractive. Women have an almost supernatural ability to detect authenticity, and they can spot a pretender from across the room. So how do you actually develop this quality? How do you become the kind of man who naturally embodies this magnetic calm? It starts with understanding what you're really up against. Most of us have been conditioned to seek approval from others, especially from women. We've learned to change ourselves, to bend and twist and mold our personalities based on what we think others want to see. We've become reactive instead of responsive. We've forgotten how to exist peacefully within ourselves. The first step toward masculine calm is reclaiming your center. This means developing a strong sense of self that isn't dependent on external circumstances or other people's opinions. When someone criticizes you, your worth doesn't fluctuate. When someone praises you, you don't get inflated. You remain steady because your self-worth comes from within. This requires brutal honesty with yourself. You need to identify the areas where you're still seeking validation. Maybe you dress to impress others instead of wearing what makes you feel confident. Maybe you change your opinions based on who you're talking to. Maybe you say yes when you want to say no because you're afraid of disappointing someone. Start saying no more often, not to be difficult or stubborn, but because a man with masculine calm has clear boundaries. He knows what he stands for and what he won't tolerate. He doesn't need to explain or justify his decisions to everyone around him. When he makes a choice, he owns it completely. Develop emotional regulation. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't feel anything. It means feeling your emotions fully while maintaining your ability to think clearly and act deliberately. When someone tries to provoke you, you don't react immediately. You pause, you breathe, you consider your response. You choose how to engage rather than being pulled into someone else's emotional chaos. Practice being comfortable with silence and space. Many men feel compelled to fill every quiet moment with words, to constantly entertain or perform for the people around them. A man with masculine calm understands that silence can be more powerful than speech. He's comfortable being alone with his thoughts. He doesn't need constant stimulation or validation from others to feel at peace. Stop trying to impress women and start focusing on impressing yourself. Set standards for your own behavior and hold yourself accountable to them. Develop skills not because they'll make you more attractive to others, but because they make you more proud of who you're becoming. When you're genuinely focused on your own growth and development, that focus becomes incredibly attractive to others. Learn to be present. Most people are either dwelling on the past or anxious about the future. They're rarely fully engaged with what's happening right now. Masculine calm comes from being completely present in each moment, giving your full attention to whatever or whoever is in front of you. This presence is magnetic because it's so rare in our distracted world. Develop your own interests and pursuits that have nothing to do with dating or relationships. Have hobbies that challenge you, goals that excite you, passions that consume you in the best possible way. When you have a rich, fulfilling life outside of romantic relationships, you bring that fullness into every interaction. You're not looking for someone to complete you because you're already complete on your own. Practice delayed gratification. A man with masculine calm doesn't need everything right now. He can wait for what he wants. He can work toward long-term goals without getting frustrated by short-term setbacks. This patience extends to relationships too. He doesn't chase or pursue desperately because he trusts that the right person will recognize his value when the time is right. Stop explaining yourself so much. When you make a decision or express an opinion, resist the urge to immediately justify it with a lengthy explanation. Let your words stand on their own. Trust that you've communicated clearly and move forward. Over-explaining often comes from insecurity and undermines the very point you're trying to make. Develop physical practices that help you embody calmness. This might be weightlifting, martial arts, meditation, yoga, or simply taking long walks in nature. Find activities that help you connect with your body and develop a sense of groundedness. Physical practices teach you to be comfortable with discomfort and help you build the kind of resilience that shows up in every area of your life. Most importantly, understand that developing masculine calm is not about becoming perfect or never feeling uncertain. It's about being comfortable with your imperfections and honest about your growth edges. It's about responding to life's challenges from a place of centeredness rather than reactivity. The man who embodies masculine calm doesn't need to announce his strength because it's evident in everything he does. He doesn't need to chase because he's become the kind of person worth pursuing. He doesn't need to prove his worth because he genuinely knows his value. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily practice of choosing centeredness over chaos, presence over distraction, authenticity over performance. But every day you commit to this path, you become more magnetic, more attractive, more genuinely powerful. The women who are drawn to masculine calm aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for a man who knows himself, who can remain steady when life gets turbulent, who brings peace instead of drama into their world. They want someone who enhances their life rather than complicating it. Become that man. Not because it will make you more attractive to women, but because it will make you more proud of who you see in the mirror each morning. The attraction that follows is simply a natural byproduct of becoming the most authentic, centered version of yourself.